Hi parents, my name is Russell Medley and this is a public service announcement for parental rights for special education. First of all, Congress mandates that parents are afforded the opportunity to be part of the decision-making process as it relates to their child. There's what's called the Free Appropriate Public Education Policy, and this basically means that any services that a student might need while in school, those are provided at no cost to the student or families. It also meets the standards set forth by the state board, that there's services provided at the preschool, elementary, and secondary levels. And then all of this is in accordance with the individual, the IEPs as well. So parents, you also have rights as far as getting information as far as the eligibility for services, any initial evaluations, reevaluations, development of the IEP, and any changes to or removal from the IEP. First of all, to define a parent, what the state and schools will use is first look at any biological parents, then go to adoptive parents, maybe a person acting as a parent, such as a family member like a grandma, uncle, something like that. If those are provided, legal guardians. It could also be an appointed education advocate and then a foster parent as well. And I put an asterisk there at the bottom that the court decisions may also influence who has authority on decisions made on behalf of a child. So maybe there are biological parents in the picture. However, a court has ruled that the decision should be made by an appointed education advocate or something like that. So it's very important to take into consideration any court decisions that may be out there as well. There also should be parent rights and special education notice provided to families and parents. This should be provided at least once a school year. It should also be provided upon a referral or parent request for an initial evaluation. If there is a first formal complaint or due process complaint filed, then those should also be provided. It should also be provided if there's disciplinary action that may remove a student from placement. And then parents, you can request this parent rights and special education notice at any time as well. And basically what that is just a document that lists all the rights that you have in the process with special education. Schools must provide the following. First of all, prior written notice within 15 days of any planned action. So if they are wanting to have an initial evaluation, before that can happen, there needs to be notice given to the families stating kind of what they are planning to do. Parents, you may also have concerns and you may want to have an evaluation done. Okay, you would submit that request to the administration or to the school in some way. And then they have what's called reasonable time. So once again, that 15 days to get back to you on whether they accept or deny the action. And usually if they're going to deny it, then they would have some sort of reasoning as to why they're going that route. Communication should also be done to all eligible parents. So for example, if there is a student whose family members or parents are divorced, communication needs to go out to both parents, regardless of who has custody, things like that. As long as there's no, like I said, court decisions or things that are preventing that, but all should be informed. And then if there are any communication needs, there could be like a translator or this written notice is presented in a way that is in the native language of those that you're sending it to, and that is also the responsibility of the school. Parents, you have a right to consent, okay? And before the school or administration or teachers can move forward with anything, okay, they need to get consent in writing for all proposed changes, evaluations, reevaluations, etc. And you may give consent, and as you're going through the process, may wish to revoke your consent, and that can be done as well. And so you have both options available there. Failure to respond to consent, schools may still conduct actions with safeguards in place. So it is very important that you are keeping up and communicating with the school, because if you do not communicate and schools are making those attempts to reach out to you, then they can, not always in some certain cases, but if they want to, they can choose to move forward with different safeguards like mediation in place. More on that, like I said, they can pursue consent, or services can still be made with mediation and due process. The only time that this, in the document that I was reading, said that it could not happen was for initial placement for IEP services. So if they do not have any consent at all from you, they cannot move forward with that. So some final thoughts, parents, you know what's best for your child, okay? Your schools want to work with you and get your input because, like I said, you know what's best for your child. You know their needs and their goals and things like that. Please attend meetings and be an advocate for your child. Get involved in school improvement processes and then seek out additional resources from state or for training on parent rights. This IDEA has documents and information for each state. KSDE has information. So if you are having concerns or you feel like your questions aren't being answered from the school, then there are additional resources where you can learn more about your rights, etc. And this is the reference I use from the Kansas Department of Education for Kansas on the parent rights. Thank you.